Morning. All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. All right. Here we go. I had to jam out a little bit this morning. How are we? How are we? How are we? All right, let me turn that all the way off because I'm super ADD. Okay. Here is the dealio. Welcome to it. If you're here, you probably know what's happening, or you've just found this randomly and you're like, who is this person? And all of those things would be fair. You're right. I'm Rachel LaForce. I'm a comedian. I'm a creative producer. I am a gifted intuitive, and I wrap all of these things together for what I identify as the misfit light. We come together every Monday morning at 8:15 a.m. And we do a quick 15-20 minute lesson on some aspect of living, of our life, that may need just a little extra love, a little extra juice. And I am sharing with you all of my lessons learned. Good morning. Good morning. Hi, Ani. Yes, I set my alarm so I could join. I love this. I love this. Good morning. Good morning. Yes. So that is what we do here. Now, to me, the misfit light, I'm just saying hello to a few folks here. To me, the misfit light is more than just these. We come together and we're talking. To me, the misfit light is an expression. It's a way of being. It's a lifestyle. Good morning. Good morning. Yes, so looking forward to this today. Yes, me too. Me too. So the misfit light it's a way of being. It's being in your highest expression. It is a sense of ownership, empowerment, and something that is easy to always come back to and is always available to you because it is you, right? It's what's in you. So there's nothing that you have to sign up for. There's no to-do lists. We're not going to get stuck in like, oh, I've got to heal this or I have to set this boundary. Identifying and living within the misfit light is knowing that everything you need, you already have, knowing that everything is a process, and that we are all participating and creating, dare I say, the life that we want. So that's what the misfit light is, and I'm glad that you're here. So I create a free workbook for you every week. I know a lot of you grabbed the workbook this week, which was super exciting. And if you didn't, no big deal. You can always go back to it. So in Linktree, there is a link in bio there. You can go there, download this for free. And also every Sunday, and I'll add a few more in during the week. Any story in my stories or a variety of posts throughout the week, you can just comment misfit and it will be automatically sent to you in your DMs. So I'm going to be going off the workbook. So if I'm talking and you're like, where is she looking? It is in the workbook. Okay. So this week we're talking all about being stuck, being in a slump, as I call it, slump city, right? Population 1. And so this is what we're talking about. This week on the Misfit Light, Slump City, Party of 1. Okay, so you're feeling stuck. Let's take a closer look. Our beliefs shape our perspective, so it's imperative that we choose our words wisely. Are you actually stuck, or have things just been weird for a week or two? There's a lot of space between the two. Secondarily, your life isn't falling apart. Is there one aspect of your life that maybe feels stagnant? No matter what these answers are, we will create an action step roadmap today. Later, Slump City. I mean, how does she do it? Just missed my calling. Just a regular Don Draper with this copy. Okay, so then if you scroll down, I always create these. If you don't have the workbook, this is what it looks like. These cute, look at that. Look at that. Cute little maps for you. So this is, help, I'm stuck. Now, here's something else I would like to say, just in case I haven't made it glaringly obvious. If there's something that I'm teaching about, it's because I'm experiencing it, okay? Or humble brag, I know a lot about it. So I myself, right now, am feeling what I thought was stuck, but plot twist, my season 4 of my podcast, The Rachel LaForce Show, comes out on Thursday. And if you're really enjoying this, I humbly recommend my podcast because it is this, but longer, and there's guests, and it's funnier, and it's more of a rant. So highly recommend to go and check that out. And I was realizing, I was like, man, I'm feeling stuck. And I was like, oh, I'm not stuck. Here's what's happening. So I will share more about that as we walk through this. So there's 3 points that I want you to ask yourself if you are here. Because my guess is if you're here, if you're doing the rewatch, there's a part of you that's feeling stuck, or maybe what you would identify as stuck. But let's take a closer look at that. So the first question is, stuck? Stuck where? It goes on to say, it's rare that our entire lives are stuck. Often when we experience this, it can be pinpointed to a specific area of our lives. So what I first want you to do is write down, think about, have a thought, comment, whatever feels good to you, about where is this stuckness? Where is it living in your body? Where is it living in your life? How is it identifying itself, right? So for me, I was like, I'm feeling just like really stuck, like creatively. Like I feel like I'm like making all these things and spinning my wheels, but like nothing's really gaining traction. We're not really moving. We're not really going anywhere. And it was very frustrating. Okay, thank you, Apple. And I was, like, yeah, you are stuck, you big dumb idiot. Yep, there it is again. And so, but listen, give ourselves love. Give ourselves love. There it goes. Okay, because we're having a good time. We're having a good time. Come on. Yes, there we go. Okay. She hates it, but you love it, don't you? Okay, so I'm like, okay, I'm feeling stuck creatively. I don't really, I'm like, I'm making all these things and I can't figure out what's going on. So this goes down to the second part, which is, but are you really? Are you really? Because are you really stuck, or were just things not working for a day or two? And this is very valuable information, right? So for me, I'm like, oh, I'm stuck. I'm making all this stuff and nothing's working. And what I was realizing, I'm like, no, I'm not stuck. I'm in the middle of a process. There's a difference. And so this is why I have created this, because it's really important for us to identify where is it that we are saying that we're stuck. And is it, maybe it's just in your relationship. Oh, I'm feeling like, I don't know if I need to stay in this relationship, if I'm supposed to leave. How does she do it? Honestly, nobody knows, verdict is still out, but it's really important. Are you actually stuck? Is something not working, or is there something that's adjustable? Because most of the time there is a way for something to be adjusted, right? Same thing, Ani, right? So it's not so much, we're not lost. We're not stuck. We're in the middle of something. So I talked all about this on the episode that comes out on Thursday, the Rachel LaForce Show. And I think it's literally called like Stuck City or something similar, where I was like, oh, this whole time I've been like, all winter, I'm like, oh, I'm like stuck. It's not working. And I'm creating all this stuff and none of it's working and blah, blah, blah. And it was like, I didn't even consider that I was in the middle. Yeah, exactly. Neither had I. And so it was this feeling of like, oh, cool. So I would say to you, are you actually stuck in your relationship? Whether that's your relationship with yourself, a romantic relationship, a work relationship. Like, are you actually stuck in your job? Are you not liking it? Or are you getting all these signals, that feeling of being stuck, that non-fulfillment, that the lack of wonder, whatever, however you would describe feeling stuck? Is it that, or are those the signals for you that it's time to move on? Like what we do where we get in our own way, I've been talking about this, but it bears repeating, where I'm like, think about in a dream, we've all been there, and you're trying to run in your dream and you know where you can't run. Comment if you know what I'm talking about, please, so I don't feel so insane. But you're like trying to run and you can't, and it feels like you're stuck, and there's that conscious part of your brain that's going like, what the F is happening right now? Like, why can't I run? What is happening? That's what we do in our daily lives. We get in our own way all of the time. That's what we do. It's called trying to send emails. And what happens? We slow ourselves down. Oh, I can't send an email. Oh, I don't know. I got to reread it 97 times. Or, oh, I have to send it at exactly the right time. That's not how things work. It's not, oh, you didn't get it because if only you would have done it this way, then it would have worked. Or so these are all of the ways in which we slow ourselves down. We know how to run. We know how to send the email. We know how things should move forward, but we are the ones that get in our own way. I feel that way when I run in real life too. Running is the worst. Okay, this is fair. This is fair. Mama has bad knees, so I feel you. I can't even do lunges. I just do squats. That's a bit about me. So again, stuck where? In what aspect of your life are you feeling this sensation? Are you feeling these feelings? Okay? And you even may be saying, Rachel, it is my whole life. It's cute what you're saying, but it is my whole life. And that's also fair. I've been there as well. It's called 2018. So I have been there and I know that feeling as well. Sometimes we do in our lives feel stuck, right? And that's typically right before what I would identify as the tower card, or when everything is going to start crashing in on itself, so that you can begin to create what is actually meant for you, what you're actually supposed to be doing, right? Sometimes that means it takes us back to something that we were doing before. There's lots of things, but that's a lesson for a different day. So the first thing I really want you all to think about is stuck where? And then you could even go further than that. Where in your life and where in your body are you feeling stuck? Where within your schedule, your daily life, where are these things coming up that feel like they are exacerbating this feeling of being stuck? For me, I don't identify as a content creator. I never set out to do content. I'm a comedian. I am a speaker. I'm a creative producer. And I was starting to feel stuck and frustrated because I'm clamoring to make content where it's like, this isn't what I want to do. This isn't what I want to be doing. And it's not working. And I'm feeling stuck and frustrated. It's like, well, yeah, of course. And then that takes us to the second part. But are you really? Let me read this. Working on myself, asking, am I stuck or am I on pause, and figuring it out? Absolutely. I love that so much. And am I on pause? And if I am on pause, what does that mean? Or am I in rest mode? Am I right now gathering the things that I need to be able to move forward and do what is required of me to do next? These are all very different states of being that have very different outcomes. So, sorry, I'm stuffed up. We've had a cold going through our house, and I think it's mom's turn. So yeah, I love that you share that, because I think that that's so vital and it's so important, right? And so it's that next part of are you really stuck? Or are you on pause? Are you figuring it out? Are you in hibernation mode, right? There's all these different times where we are feeling different things. And it's going to affect us differently. It's going to take us in a new direction, right? So figuring that out is so valuable. And here's why it's valuable. Here's why it's important, right? It's not even so much that we can solve it. It's so that we can begin to navigate out. That's the third piece, is this navigation piece. Now that we've identified where we are stuck and why this may be occurring, why we may be feeling this way, we can now create action steps to move forward. So, again, I can only teach from me because I don't know you. I don't know your life, okay? Highly intuitive, and I could probably tell you a few things about you that may blow your mind. But in this instance, right, it's really, I'm going to tell you how I'm navigating through. So I shared where I was I'm not a content creator. I'm struggling make content. I'm a tired millennial mom. You know what I mean? I just want to be on stage with a joke in my hand, a mic in my hand. You know what I mean? At this point, it may be a joke in my hand. But so the navigation part of why I'm feeling stuck, or why these areas of my life are feeling stuck, and it's because I'm in the middle of the process, right? I'm making a half-hour comedy special in March. It's great, so that's not here yet. You don't have things to share yet. This is just the reality. Get used to it. Have a seat, and thank you so much for coming, right? I'm in the middle of, my husband and I have a production company together, and we are building out our brick and mortar. I had called this workshop, What the Stuck? How to Get Unstuck and Change Your Luck by Rachel LaForce. That's my husband, everybody. That is my husband, Alex Sketlin. But so Alex and I have, and honestly, great copy, even better than mine when I bragged about myself earlier. So we are creating a brick and mortar creative space here in the Atlanta area that will also serve as a comedy club. That's a very big thing. That's a very big thing to bite off. And I'm not ready to start sharing about it until we actually have a space and we have moved forward. So there's all of these things that behind the scenes or what I'm doing, I feel as though I'm like, man, I'm exhausted every day from the time I get up until I go to sleep. The amount of, and we've talked a lot about this too, the scheduling that I'm doing, what I'm working on, what I'm creating, like this is discipline that is on a new level that I don't like. I am not comfortable with the level of discipline that I have in my life right now, right? But that level of discipline is allowing me to be able to move forward. So if you, like me, are feeling that the navigation piece, this last piece, the how do I get out of this is as simple as going, you just keep doing what you're doing. You're just not there yet. So you're not stuck. In fact, you're like the ripe effing opposite of that. That's what being in action is. That's what being in the middle is. So all the time we're all like, oh, I don't want to start this project, right? And there's every, scroll and you're going to find some person who's like, are you scared to start? Like, just start. Here's how I started, right? And everybody loves to just like give you their take. My humble self included. But that was what I realized where I'm like, oh, starting is easy. In fact, starting is so easy. And also finishing a lot easier than some would say. You know what's difficult? You know what tests someone? You know what determines your outcome? The middle. When things start to get hard, when you start to feel stuck, when you start to feel that resistance and you choose to do it anyway, that is the most gratifying thing that you can do for yourself. That is when you will find out exactly what you're made of. That is when you will find out what are all the tools that I need? What is more of the support that I need? How can I continue to invest in myself and pull up from this misfit light in order to get to where I'm going? Period. And that's a true across the board for all of us. That so often we feel this way of like, oh, it's supposed to look this way or it's supposed to feel this way. And we get in our own way because we just want to feel comfortable. And friends, feeling uncomfortable does not mean you're stuck. Those are two different things. You can be wildly in action. In fact, you could even have your #dreams coming true and be shocked at how uncomfortable you feel. Because every time you get closer to the thing that you want next, every time you get closer to stepping outside of that comfort zone, what happens? You get uncomfortable because you are experiencing things that you haven't experienced yet. So your body doesn't know what to do with them. Your mind doesn't know what to do with them, right? It's a real, mind fuck, basically, right? Where you're like, I don't know. So in fact, if in certain areas of your life right now, you are feeling that tension, you are feeling that uncomfortability in a way that you can't identify. I want to be clear in the event that you can't read between the lines, right? If you're in a relationship with somebody and you're feeling wildly disrespected, they say they're going to call you and they don't call you back and those sort of things, and that uncomfortability is coming up, that's your intuition saying, haha, time to run, So, oh geez, Alex Ketlin back. Or a mind stuck. There we go. Okay, that one was good. Good assist. So that is certainly a different set, but I'm going to trust that if you're here and you're understanding this is something that you were feeling called to anyhow, the uncomfortability that I'm talking about, energetically, you're going to understand, right? So I'm going to take that leap and trust that you understand in between the lines. So in that uncomfortability, it wants to teach you. Just let it be uncomfortable. Like, I hate it. Every day, I feel like I'm moving in a wet sleeping bag. I feel so uncomfortable and frustrated. But I know that I'm just in the middle. And that's what this is. So anytime, what I love about this is, the workbook is that it's so open-ended and it's something that you can revisit and it's so effing simple. You don't need a million journal prompts. They're here if you want them. But I think sometimes when we really start to feel this frustration, it's that same thing like I said earlier where you're trying to run in the dream and you can't run. That's the same thing. When we start to feel stuck or we start to feel uncomfortable, we make a meal out of it. We got to go around. We have to tell everybody how uncomfortable we are and oh, we feel stuck and all. And we talk about it. But we don't think about it, we don't feel it, we don't move through it, and so what? Nothing changes. And then we actually are stuck, so it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Rather than choosing empowerment, rather than choosing ourselves, rather than stepping into our misfit light and going, okay, So I don't feel great. That's okay. That is a part of the process. I have felt not great before. So now we're going to make this a game and see if I can both take care of myself and withstand being uncomfortable. People take cold plunges. People take cold showers. People do insane things that make them uncomfortable for a longer term gratification all of the time. Okay? You can do it too. So it's that same piece. Where are you stuck, but are you really? And write everything down, because then that way we can keep running. Meaning, when those feelings come up, when that sensation comes up, when that frustration is there, you don't have, like this week, if I go into making content, I'm not going to sit being like, oh, I got to make this or that. No, I don't. I am not a content creator. That is not my job. That is what I need to do. What I need to do is keep doing the things I'm doing offline so that I can get to the other side, and then that's something that I can offer you. Because it's my art, it's my passion, and it's what I love to do, right? And so then naturally, that will do well. More people will be attracted to that. They'll feel lit up by it. Why? Because that was the intention when it was created, right? And so that is what I encourage you to do. I always say this all the time. You can have it all. Rachel LaForce guarantee. You can have it all. You just can't have it all at once. So that is so much of what this week's lesson was about, of let's take our power back. You're not stuck. You don't not have any idea why this is happening or how it's all happening. Even when we do have those moments, and I've had years like that, not to brag, okay? When you get quiet and you stop chirping with the whole freaking neighborhood like you're getting paid to do it, and you just sit down and get quiet every now and then and nurture your body and move your body and let these things move through you in the way that they're supposed to. Oh my gosh. It's not an epiphany. It's because you did the work. Okay? So when you're feeling stuck, when you're in the middle, it's because you're doing the work. That was the biggest, even though I just said we don't have epiphanies, that was the biggest epiphany that I had this week, where I was like, oh. I am so sorry. This is embarrassing. This is so embarrassing for all of us, right? It's not that I don't know what I'm doing. It's that I have chosen for the first time to actually go, these are the goals, and I'm going to follow it all the way through. And I'm not going to abandon ship because it gets boring or somebody else offers me like a shiny opportunity. No, this is what we set out to do, and we're going to stay with it all the way through. And the middle is not fun. This is what I want to leave you with, that the middle is not fun. And that's true of anything. Like my friend earlier, when you're like, I'm trying to figure out if I'm stuck or if I'm in a pause, right? And when we take pauses, when we take rest, that's because we're always in the middle, because there's always a process happening. So when we stop looking at a process as being the triumphant beginning or end, then we can move through the world with much more ease, because we've accepted that it's an ongoing process. And there's really never going to be this full, yes, there are bodies of work, there are things that we can do to make a finished product, and whatever that is, even if that's closure from leaving a relationship, or that's leaving this job that you were at for 10 years and now, or you've started this business, there are mile markers. But the biggest way that we trip ourselves up is we get to what we think is that finish line, and then we're like, ah, and everything doesn't suddenly feel magical and perfect and different. And then we're upset all over again. So not only do we finish it, and then we're upset that it doesn't feel the way that we think it's supposed to feel. Get out of your own way. That's not real. It's not that we don't know what to do, but we don't find ourselves grace for that. Yes, for it's the first time doing it. Excuse me. Sorry, guys, I'm sick. Right? You haven't done this before. You have not been in this middle before. So if you are doing the work, if you are showing up for yourself, that is enough. And how we get in our own way is because we want to feel comfortable, and we want to feel like we just, you're doing it. And I'm not projecting that onto you. This is my real life. I would love if all the time, everywhere I went, everyone's like, you're doing it. We see you. Yeah. It's not how it works. It's not how it works. Even when you're having those moments on top, that's still not how it works. So get comfortable with the process. Get comfortable with being able to identify what the process is It's cyclical. So that way, the more that we're in it, we're able to keep running. Not running, you don't need to rush, but meaning, again, sticking with this metaphor, right? Oh, here's one more. Stick to landing, get land. So maybe just do it and don't get stuck in that. Yeah, exactly right. Of just keep, right? Just keep swimming, just keep swimming. It's that same thing. That doesn't mean be somewhere that you're not. That doesn't mean put on yourself more than you can handle. Again, read between the lines. I'm going to trust that you can. It simply means acknowledge that a process needs to unfold. Right? I was meeting with a dear friend yesterday who's a very gifted psychic and medium in her own right. My current middle is middle age, and I deeply relate to this, right? Yeah, I feel like I'm quickly behind you on that, right? And so it feels like it's like, okay, well, adolescence feels very far away, but also like, being well into our 80s, that's quite a ways away too. So it is this middle of like, okay, what do we do now? What do we want to do now? Right? And so the more that we can just allow ourselves to be a part of this process, we can actually show up for ourselves more. Because even in the uncomfortability, the main thing, and again, this is on the episode, the new season 4 episode that comes out of the Misfit Light on Thursday. Episodes always drop every Thursday if you're new. I'll be posting all this in my stories. So every Thursday a new episode is out. And that's what that's what I'm talking about. Is this feeling where I was like, I am in this new level now where I'm like, I want to learn how to make magic in the mundane. Because most of life is being in the middle. Most of life is the in-between process. Most of the life is the unfolding. So how can I allow it to unfold and show up for that? And I'll leave you with this. That's what I was talking about with my friend Renee, gifted medium and psychic and intuitive. And I was talking with her. She goes, somebody told me recently, and I know this is maybe a lot of you are younger than me, but it's like not even Gen Z. This is like the even younger generation where they're all like, do it for the plot twist, right? Do it for the plot. And it's so true where I'm like, if anything would have unfolded the way that I would have preferred it unfolded, nobody would buy that TV show. They'd be like, wait, there were no obstacles and she just decided that she wanted it and so she got it. Yeah, no one's going to watch that show. First of all, it's going to be like 4 episodes, and that's so boring, right? But now, the way that everything has unfolded, people would be like, what? Wow! Wow! Right? There'd be viewing parties of the true Rachel LaForce show. So allow your life and what you're experiencing to unfold as it is supposed to unfold. Can you just allow yourself to be entertained? So many people all the time, oh, I'm so bored. Oh, this is so boring. Oh, and we watch all these insane television shows that have just, just people who need to meet their inner child, but that's an episode for a different day, okay? And just because we want to be entertained. And I'm like, think about all the things that are going on in your own life, and you're railing against all of them. And it's like, yeah, I just feel like the gladiator. Are you not entertained? So just use these principles, spend some time with them, okay? Whatever you're feeling stuck, you're feeling in the middle, you're getting frustrated with the process, going back to these 3 points is going to be so valuable and provide so much information for you to be able to identify, make plans, or sit with it and move forward. Okay, so that was this week. Again, if you didn't get the workbook, if you would like to, you can go and access that through my link tree. It's right there. There's a new one every week. It's free. It will always be free. So if you need free things, you like free things, please go and take advantage of it. Okay, same thing. The Misfit Light in this iteration will always be free. I'm going to make sure that it stays free because I myself, in the time that I needed help the most, I needed some guidance the most, I needed to be seen the most, I was broke. So I want to make sure that I have an array of other things and ways that I make plenty of money to sustain myself, that I want some of these things to remain free so that you can access them as you need, okay? So the other thing that I've got, the Misfit Light, the Rachel LaForce Show. It's my podcast all about healing consciousness, society, and self. I feature all sorts of comedians, heart-led leaders, people in, experts in their field, comedians, actors, all the things. And we sit down every Thursday and talk about it. There's also an array of solo episodes, some of which are kind of like channeled episodes. So there's a lot of like really cool stuff. So If you are vibing here, if you're into it, if you're feeling like the misfit light is something that you're feeling attracted to, not necessarily the reality, but again, that lifestyle, the way that you carry yourself, the way you want to move through the world, you want to access your misfit light, I highly recommend the podcast. And again, that is free. You can check that out. So season 4 is coming at you this Thursday. I'm excited, and it's even more detailed of kind of what we were talking about today. So if you feel like this was something that you connected with, you're definitely going to want to go check out that episode. If you really enjoy the Misfit Light, I also offer them as a full reading. It's a full 90-minute reading called The Misfit Light. It's all about releasing and reclaiming what is rightfully yours. So it's really great for anybody in any sort of process, whether you're kind of new to this conscious living, spiritual awakening, faith-based life, whatever that means for you, high vibe. Or you are a long-term practitioner and you're feeling like, all right, I kind of want to dust some stuff off. So I'm really excited about this offering. It's replaced a lot of other offerings. So you can always check that out, the Misfit Light readings. The books are open for that. It's a full 90 minutes. And then I also do creative consults. So it's a big part of what I do. Like I said, I'm a creative producer. I've worked professionally within the entertainment industry for well over a decade. And this is something that I have a lot of experience doing. I'm really good at. So if you are feeling stuck, either in an idea of something that you've already created, you don't know how to move forward, these are something that I do. We can do creative audits. You can send me what it is that you've been working on, and we can create a roadmap for you to be able to identify like, ooh, here's how we get more views. Here's where we want to do it this way. Have you thought about making it, X and X? So we'll sit down and we'll do that together. Or if you know that you're like, I want to start a podcast, I don't know where to start, I don't know what I want to do, right? Then we can also sit down together and we essentially do a brainstorming session. And we are going to, co-write together essentially this idea of what you're going to do. It's all yours. I don't, this is any idea that I offer you, all of that is yours. Because we have done it together. So if you're feeling like you're wanting some co-creation in that way, please, it's what I love to do. It's what I'm good at. So let's work together. All right. So that's what I got for you. Those are my free things. Those are my paid things. If you were in the greater Atlanta area, I'm shooting a half-hour comedy special, and Lord, is she funny. Thank you so very much. Exactly what I need this morning. Absolutely, Allison. Much love. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Yes, so if you are in the Atlanta area, tickets are on sale for my half-hour comedy special, and that will be hitting the interwebs in April. So, there's an eyelash, make a wish. So please, if you know somebody in the Atlanta area, send them my way. Tickets are going fast. We may be adding a second show if the first one sells out. So definitely send people my way. I love you so much. Get yourself unstuck. Let's get moving. Let's do big things. And I will see you right here next week, 8:15 a.m. for the Misfit Light. All right? Get out there. Love you, mean it.